So before I start this video off, I just want to do a little disclaimer. I just want to say this. I loved JDF. The dude was my hero. The dude was an icon to me growing up, and even to me as an adult. What I'm not a fan of is I'm not a fan of people trying to cash in on him after his death, which has been a pattern of behavior we've noticed within the past couple of years. And this video isn't meant to attack anyone or send any hate their way. I'm just here to critique a few things I've noticed. So hopefully this one doesn't end up like my last video, where I talked about Bat in the Sun, and that turned into me threatening to get sued if I don't do an interview, my mug being posted all over their Facebook page, acts of violence being threatened against me, and the post being liked by the person who put out the post, and yeah, so hopefully it doesn't turn out like that. But we'll talk about Aaron some other day. I'm sure he's got a lot going on right now. He's either working on Legend of the White Dragon or he's posting about Batman and how much he loves the 80s and 90s. But we don't have to talk about Aaron today. He's not the subject of today's video. Now, the subject of today's video is a Jason David Frank documentary that was announced a while ago. According to Legacy of Nerd, who spoke with people close to JDF, there are several documentaries that are in the work about him, and I just assumed these would come to Netflix or some other streaming service later down the line. But that's not the case. There's one that was recently announced that is being placed on a Kickstarter, and it has flopped harder than a fish out of fucking water. Now, when it comes to Power Rangers and Kickstarters, the relationship hasn't always been the best. There's been stuff like The Order, Michael Coupon's Power Rangers documentary, or even Legend of the White Dragon, which I know Legend of the White Dragon did good. It succeeded the goals, but the post-Legend of the White Dragon, after funding and everything coming out, well, the meme is, will we see Legend of the White Dragon before GTA 6? That is the big question on everyone's mind, but that's its own can of worms. But what I'm trying to say here is that a lot of Power Ranger actors will announce these Kickstarters or GoFundMes, and these projects will either get delayed, never made, or they don't deliver on their promises. And I'm sure the fandom is burnt out. Now, I know you're thinking, Ash, wasn't there a Power Rangers Kickstarter that did really well from Boom Studios? Yes, there was a couple of them that did really, really freaking well. More recently, there was the GoFundMe for Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Return. That was a comic being written by Amy Jo Johnson, and it did extremely well. Really well, really well. But that comic was going to come out regardless whether there was a Kickstarter or not. The Kickstarter was there to get bonus perks, special hardcovers, pins and stuff like that. So you'd get like a special edition of that comic as it was coming out, or once the Kickstarter was fully funded and it gets set out to be released, which is on the way very, very soon. I'm really excited. I'm probably going to do an unboxing for that one. But there's been other Power Rangers related Kickstarters, like I mentioned earlier, from actors and people involved, where they say they're going to make this really cool Kickstarter and nothing comes out of it. Nothing comes out of it, like The Order or Michael Coupon's Power Rangers project. Like those ones never saw the light of day, and there's a whole heap of controversy surrounding them, even being brought up to this very day. Now, going back to this JDF documentary that's on Kickstarter, the Kickstarter was created by Tammy Frank, JDF's partner, or she was JDF's partner. Now, I don't want to go too hard on Tammy on this video because she's probably gotten it the worst when it comes to online hate from JDF fans. I mean, there's online conspiracy theories where people think that she's the one that caused his death. That's a whole other can of worms I don't want to get into. And whenever Tammy brings up JDF, it's either a mix between heartwarming posts or guess who I caught at 3 a.m. and look who responded. And Tammy's been under fire once again recently with the announcement of this Kickstarter because earlier this year they announced the JDF Experience, this traveling museum that celebrates Jason David Frank. But if you wanted to see this traveling museum at conventions and stuff like that you have to pay to get into, well, if you want to see this traveling museum at the convention you paid to get into, well, you have to donate $50 to see this traveling museum, to see props and stuff like that from the show that JDF used back in the day. Now, the traveling museum is its own can of worms once again that not a lot of people are a fan of, because apparently there's this Be a Legend, which is this non-profit charity organization that Tammy has created, and a lot of fans have done some digging and some speculating, saying that this might be a way of sort of tax evading, but that's their words, not mine. That's just what I've noticed online. I mean, I'm not the biggest sleuth. I'm not going to do a some ordinary gamers like completionist sleuthing to figure out charity scams and stuff like that. But if something more comes of that, then I'll probably cover it on the channel. But let's have a look at this Kickstarter that was announced recently by Tammy Frank. So let's go over it. All right, so let's look at this Kickstarter right here. So this is the Kickstarter that was announced, Jason David Frank, an intimate look into your hero. So Jason David Frank, an intimate look into your hero, explores his life legacy while promoting suicide awareness and mental health. So there was a trailer that dropped a while ago, and that's what fooled me. I thought this would be coming out on its own. I didn't think there was a GoFundMe that would sort of be promoting this, because the trailer looked pretty well put together with what we saw. It looked like half complete, but all we got is a trailer so far. So this Kickstarter has been going on for a while. It has 14 hours left as of the time of recording this video, and it's managed to get $421 out of $200,000 with its set goal. So this is what I mean by earlier. A lot of fans are burnt out about having these Kickstarters when it comes to related to Power Rangers to get funded. And $200K is a steep amount to make, especially for a documentary, in my opinion. I feel like maybe they could have made this for maybe at least $50K at least, depending on their situation. But $200K is a lot. So let's go over it. Let's go over the goals and stuff like that. So these perks, I've looked at these perks a while ago, and these perks, in my opinion, are pretty shitty perks. So $1 pledge, support the project because you believe in us. $50 pledge, heroic supporter, Tammy Frank autograph, Jenna Frank autograph photo, $50. Ships to United States only. So if you're a fan who's in Australia, the United Kingdom, or somewhere that isn't America, and you fund this Kickstarter, well, you're not going to get that photo of Tammy or Jenna because, you know, it only ships to the United States. So that's a perk you're missing out on if you fund this. So let's scroll down. You get the champion supporter for $100, autograph photo of Tammy, autograph photo of Jenna, access to the documentary, and a Be a Legend t-shirt and trailer preview. 2 backers so far, which is surprising. Ships only to the United States. So yeah, you get that. For $500, you're a legendary supporter. You get a shirt, preview to the documentary, access to the documentary, access to exclusive behind-the-scenes footage, Tammy and Jenna autograph, again, ships only to the United States. The $1,000 tier supporter, you get. So what do you get for this one? You get a t-shirt, access to the documentary, supporter name and credits, photographed photo of Tammy and Jenna, and then more behind-the-scenes footage. Again, ships to the US only. So again, if you're out of the US and you want to support this, well, you don't get a lot. And then $10,000, you get to be in the documentary. Okay, so legend, you get a t-shirt again, all that other stuff, exclusive trailer, deep dive, transparent, open talk with Tammy Frank about the loss of your hero for the documentary. Travel fees not included, so you get to have a sit-down talk with Tammy about the loss of your hero. So you get that. And that's where we go. So let's go over sort of the perks about what they want to do for this Kickstarter. So introduction. So Jason David Frank, An Intimate Look in Your Hero is a compelling documentary that explores the life, career, and personal journey of Jason David Frank, the beloved actor best known as Tommy Oliver, or Tommy Liver, as they posted the other day, in the Power Rangers franchise. This documentary seeks to offer fans a new audience alike a deep, personal perspective on Frank's impact on the pop culture and personal struggles and triumphs. So it looks like it's spreading a good message overall. So they want to reach fans all over the place. Even if they didn't grow up watching Power Rangers, they want to get this personal message out on Jason David Frank's life and his personal struggles, but not only that, his triumphs that he was going through. So the purpose of fundraising: to ensure the successful production and delivery of this documentary, we are seeking financial support to cover essential production costs. These costs include filming and production, post-production, marketing, distribution, legal and administration expenses, impact of the documentary. Okay. So that's what they want to do. Now, let's see. So one of the things they want to get is they want to interview castmates and stuff like that, and colleagues and fans, and use archive material and behind-the-scenes content, which I don't know how much behind-the-scenes content is out there when it comes to Power Rangers. I don't know if that's locked in a vault somewhere. I don't know if anyone held on to that. Unless, because JDF was always filming, so there'd be some stuff here and there that they find. But I don't know if, what I'm trying to say is, I don't know if Saban or Hasbro or Disney threw a lot of that behind-the-stuff scenes in the trash once they were done, because, they no longer started filming in New Zealand, so if it's out there, it's probably in a vault somewhere, or someone who worked on the show has it sitting in their basement rotting. So there's that. And not only that, they're also going to have to pay probably to use the Power Rangers footage. So there's that as well. So, conclusion: funding this documentary is crucial to bring this heartfelt project to life. Your support will cover the. Oh, I cannot speak right now. Your support will help cover the cost of production, ensure the film's quality, and enable to reach its global audience. By contributing, you are not only supporting this project, but a project that celebrates a cultural hero, but also investing in a story that will inspire and connect to people around the world. We appreciate your consideration of making Jason David Frank immediate intimate hero into your reality. I'm spitting words out of my mouth. Okay, so risks and challenges: delays, budget overruns, access to permissions, like I said earlier, music rights and stuff like that, which I don't know what is left out there, because if you remember that clip show we had in Beast Morphers or Dino Fury where they had to dub over a lot of the older footage, the whole reason why they did that is because back in the day, back in the olden days when they filmed Power Rangers, not a lot of those archive tapes were left around, and when they did have to edit it, I believe it was all edited down into one track, so they couldn't really separate the music to get around it, so that's why they had to dub over those scenes. So, fun fact about that. So, unforeseen event like health issues, emergency, changes in key or person productions, yet it is. Stakeholder disputes, that's an interesting one. Conflict between producers, finances, or any other stakeholders regarding the direction, content, or final edit of the documentary. So, that might be an issue as well. Audience reception. This documentary may not resonate with the attended audience or face criticism, which could affect its success or impact. Well, hopefully you're not going to threaten to sue me for making this video, even though this Kickstarter has been off to a rocky start already. Compliance issues, regulation broadcast, film festival guidelines, stuff like that. Okay, so they want to show this at a film festival. So, I'm going to go on camera for this one. So they want to show this at a film festival. I think, regardless of their budget, regardless of what they want to do with it, they could make sort of like an indie documentary on a low budget, like not on a shoestring budget, but with whatever resources they have, connections they know, they could film this interviewing friends, family, and stuff like that for Power Ranger actors and stuff like that who come out to local conventions. I mean, Tammy and Jenna go to conventions all the time, so they could whip out a quick little interview there, do that. That'd be easy to do, in my opinion. But I feel like I get that they want to have this at a film festival so they can have people all over the world see the cultural impact that JDF was. I think this would reach a bigger audience if it went to YouTube, in my opinion, because YouTube is free. YouTube. You can share it around. You can post it in group chats. It will get around more easier, more word of mouth. I mean, YouTube documentaries are where it's at these days. I mean, last year the Boogie documentary was a weird comparison. But YouTube documentaries is where it's at. I feel like that's the biggest takeaway from that. Like, yeah, film festival would be cool. I get what they're trying to do, but I feel like a documentary like this, where they film it on whatever budget they've got. I mean, they've got $421 to film this on, but I guess if it's Kickstarter, I think it won't get fully funded. They could put it on YouTube, in my opinion. So, yep, there's the risks. So, this documentary regarding Jason David Frank, I'm not trying to shit on it. I'm not trying to shit on Jason David Frank. I'm not trying to shit on Tammy or anyone involved. Just want to make that clear. I feel like that the fandom is burnt out on documentaries like this because, like I said, not documentaries, Kickstarters like this. Sorry, I should word that better. The fandom is burnt out on Kickstarters like this because, like I said earlier in the start of the video, there's been a ton of Kickstarters when it comes to Power Rangers related things or Power Rangers actors involved, and a lot of those Kickstarters don't deliver on that promise. And I feel like the marketing for this has probably been terrible. I mean, I didn't even know there was a Kickstarter about this thing until I found out about it on Ranger Command on their website, because they did Bolt Bits and they talked about it briefly. And that's how I found out there was a Kickstarter for this. Like, when I originally saw this trailer that came out, I thought that the documentary was already set to come out because, Legacy of Nerd talked to Tammy and other people involved, and apparently there was Jason David Frank documentaries being in the works or being shopped around. Apparently 4, he said, was in the works, was told. So I assumed if those ones were being worked on right now, I didn't know that there'd be this Indiegogo indie film documentary being released that would be kickstarted by fans. And a lot of fans can sort of see through this shit here and there. Like I said, they're burnt out. They don't want to put their hard-earned money to a Kickstarter that might not deliver on this promise. And seeing what they're trying to accomplish here, it does look like they're asking a bit too much. Like 200K, bit too much in my opinion. 50K, 10K maybe, depending on how ambitious you want to make this documentary. That would have been the best way to go, in my honest opinion. But overall, let me go back to big screen. Overall, in my opinion, this documentary is probably going to flop. I feel like that it might try getting revived later down the line and have another round of it, like Bat and Sun did for War Legend of the White Dragon. Maybe it'll do better this time. But it's interesting that I've seen little to no marketing about this documentary from what I've seen on social media here and there. Not only that, not a lot of people are talking about this Kickstarter. Like, when Kickstarters get announced when it comes to Power Rangers related stuff, people are talking about it. No one's talking about this Kickstarter. It's got 14 hours left, and I'm sure once this video drops, had you heard of this Kickstarter before I made this video? That is a big question. But hey, it is what it is. If you want to donate it to it, go nuts. Do whatever you want to do. But like I said, this video isn't meant to deliver hate towards Tammy or Jason David Frank. Like I said, I love JDF. There's a lot of people involved recently who have come out of the woodworks who are trying to make money off his legacy. If you remember the start of the year, Jacob Frank came out, tried selling overpriced merch here and there. Jacob had his own demons in his closet that got exposed later down the line, which was shocking to see that he actually got let into Power Morphicon with the charges he had against him. But that's his own can of worms. That's his own story for another day. I should have made a video on that when it happened, but oh well. But yeah, so that's my thoughts on this Kickstarter. I'm not going to fund it. I'm not going to donate money towards it. Like I said, this probably could have been funded on almost a shoestring budget, or maybe like a budget of 10K or more-ish. And then they could have put it on YouTube, and they could have made a decent amount of cash if I posted this on YouTube. That could have worked out for them. But the whole controversy of the BL Legends production and the museum going around that I've been hearing talks about online, not a good look in my opinion, not a good look. I might come back to it later down the line, but I'm sure Henry or someone will talk about it. Who knows, but hopefully with this video it doesn't end with me getting threatened to get sued, or my face being posted on their Facebook page and death threats being sent my way. Hopefully it doesn't turn out like that again, but we'll have to wait and find out. But yeah, I think I'm just going to end this video here because not a lot of people are a fan of this kind of content, but hey, I feel like if I see something I don't like, I feel like I need to point it out, to point you guys in the right direction, to keep you guys aware of what's going on when it comes to something that might be a little bit fishy. So with that said, I'll see you guys later. Peace out, take care, and bye.